Hello, everyone. I'm Yazan Ibrahim, or as some of you might know me, Yazan Abu Ghosh. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating and essential topic from Chapter 5, Protection of Information Assets. Part B, Security Event Management, 5.15 Security Monitoring Tools, TAN Techniques. If you are a seasoned auditor or just curious to understand how information systems into business environments, you've come to the right place. Let's begin. In today's interconnected world, securing a network isn't just an optional task, it's an absolute necessity. Imagine the digital world as a bustling city with data racing through invisible highways, bridges, and tunnels. Every moment, malicious actors are like thieves, lurking in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to strike. How do organizations defend their most critical assets in this constantly changing environment? Enter security monitoring tools and techniques, the trusted guardians of our digital landscapes, designed to detect, prevent, and when needed, counteract potential breaches. The cornerstone of this process lies in monitoring, detection, and logging. But these tasks go far beyond simply keeping an eye on things. They involve actively identifying threats, analyzing behavior for anomalies, and ensuring every bit of data flowing in or out of the organization remains protected. How does this protective shield work? Let's explore some of the most effective tools and strategies organizations use to ensure their digital fortresses remain secure. Intrusion detection systems, vigilant sentinels of the network. Let's start with one of the frontline defenders, the intrusion detection system, commonly known as an IDS. Think of an IDS as a watchtower, standing guard to identify attacks and suspicious activity within a network. But the role of this watchtower doesn't stop at spotting threats. It complements other critical systems like firewalls, working in harmony to strengthen the lines of defense. An IDS isn't like a one-time alarm. It operates continuously, running silently in the background, scanning, monitoring, and waiting for anything out of the ordinary. The moment it detects a threat, whether an unauthorized login attempt, a flood of suspicious network traffic, or even a possible insider attack, it warns administrators, setting the stage for immediate response. However, not all IDS are the same. They come in two distinct categories, each with unique capabilities. 1. Network-based IDS, NIDS. Imagine standing at the gates of a fortress and monitoring everything that passes through. That's exactly what a network-based IDS does. It keeps an eye on the traffic zipping through the organization's network. If it's placed strategically between the internet and the firewall, it detects even the attempts that never make it past the firewall's defenses. On the other hand, if located on the inner side, it zeroes in on intrusions that have bypassed the firewall. While powerful, a NIDS doesn't replace a firewall, it enhances it. 2. Host-based IDS, HIDS. Unlike the NIDS that safeguards the entire network, a host-based IDS focuses on the internal workings of specific machines. Picture it as a detail-oriented detective inspecting an operating system for unusual signs like tampered files, deleted programs, or unauthorized use of privileged commands. HIDS is meticulously customized for its environment and excels at catching activities that might otherwise escape attention. For these systems to function effectively, several components work together seamlessly. Sensors collect data like network packets or log files. Analyzers interpret these inputs, sifting through them to filter out real threats from false alarms. The rest, administrative consoles and interfaces, allow security teams to act quickly when threats are confirmed. But there's more to an IDS than its structure. When it comes to methods for identifying threats, they primarily use one of these three techniques. 1. Signature-based detection relies on known attack patterns, or signatures, to catch intrusions. While reliable for recognized threats, it struggles against novel attacks. 2. Statistical-based models analyze normal behavior and flag anything that deviates. While this approach captures less predictable incidents, it may over-alert, raising concerns about benign activities. 3. Lastly, neural networks equipped with self-learning capabilities combine the strengths of both approaches. They observe network traffic patterns over time and use their experience to predict what's normal and what's not. While each method has its limitations, combining them provides a comprehensive defense. But let's not forget, even the best IDS isn't flawless. It won't fix weaknesses in organizational policies or patch vulnerabilities in applications, but it serves as a sharp-eyed watchdog, pinpointing threats as they emerge. Intrusion prevention systems, acting before disaster strikes. Sometimes detection alone isn't enough. You need to stop an attack before it escalates. This is where intrusion prevention systems, IPS, shine. If an IDS is the watchtower that raises an alarm, an IPS is more like a barricade that physically blocks the threat from entering. Here's how it works. As soon as suspicious behavior is detected, the IPS springs into action. It might sever the connection coming from a malicious IP address or reconfigure firewalls to shut down access points. These proactive measures make IPS enormously effective in neutralizing threats such as malware, spyware, or zero-day exploits, attacks so new that no known signature or patch exists to defend against them. However, configuring an IPS represents a delicate balancing act. If its sensitivity is set too high, it might block legitimate activities, causing disruptions. Set too low, and it risks allowing real threats to slip through. And there's a peculiar irony here. While IPSs protect networks from attackers, a sophisticated hacker could exploit poorly managed IPS configurations to paralyze the network itself. In environments where every second of downtime is critical, this creates risks that must be managed with precision. Honeypots and honeynets, decoy defenses. But what if we could trick attackers into revealing their methods? Enter the fascinating world of honeypots and honeynets. Picture a house intentionally left unlocked, not to invite burglars, but to study how they operate. Honeypots act as decoys, software applications designed to look like vulnerable servers, enticing attackers to exploit them. There are two types. High interaction honeypots, providing realistic environments for hackers to target, giving security teams detailed insight into their tactics. Low interaction honeypots, which simply mimic basic features of a network to gather surface level information about potential intrusions. When multiple honeypots are linked together, they form a honeynet, a simulated network that allows researchers to observe the entire life cycle of an attack. But there's a potential downside. Honeypots must be carefully managed. If publicly indexed as vulnerable sites, these decoys can mistakenly harm an organization's reputation. Looking at the bigger picture, network assessment and SIEM systems. While individual tools like IDS, IPS, and honeypots are invaluable, security is never about one single solution. Comprehensive network assessments evaluate every layer of defense, from firewalls to encryption protocols, ensuring that systems, policies, and configurations support one another. Periodic penetration tests poke at vulnerabilities, exposing weak areas before attackers do. At the heart of modern security operations lies Security Information and Event Management, SIEM, a powerful combination of tools designed to handle the vast flood of data generated by security systems. Whether through real-time alerts or historical analysis, SIEM equips organizations with the insights needed to stay one step ahead of threats. Taking things further, Security Operations Centers, SOCs, employ these tools to coordinate streamlined responses across an entire organization. Closing thoughts. The digital world may feel like a labyrinth of threats, but with the right tools, techniques, and vigilance, organizations can build formidable defenses. From the ever-watchful IDS and proactive IPS to the decoy tactics of honeypots and the overarching insights of SIEM, cybersecurity requires a harmonious symphony of technologies and strategies. By staying adaptive and learning from every attempted breach, organizations not only safeguard their networks, but also evolve stronger, smarter, and more resilient in the face of future challenges. Thank you for watching, and as always, continue learning. Stay curious, and we'll see you next video.